Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine. Here's the full version of the gift bag from Try It Tuesday. For this project, I will be working on a handbag gift bag that I saw on Scrapbooking with Me Crafts. My friend Terry actually made one of these, and I knew I had to give it a try. So giving a shout out to Terry. I'm going to be working with our dark green cardstock. So one sheet of that, and I'll let you know the measurements in just a moment here. Our Seasonal Sightings Designer Paper Pack. I've picked this one with the writing on it, with all the fun home for the holidays, Christmas, fa la la, Silent Night words on it, because I thought, you know, that's kind of fun, and it reminds me of those high-end designer purses. I just thought, why not? And I also have pulled a piece from our Shades of Seasonal Sightings to use as an accent on our handles for our bags. I've pulled out my 12-inch trimmer with my scoring blade because some of this can be a little tricky. First thing, for your green cardstock, you are going to cut a piece for the bottom of your bag at 5 inches by 8 inches. And we are going to score this at 1 inch all the way around the entire rectangle. I also have green cardstock cut at, let me pull them out for you. I have 2 strips that are 1 inch by 11 inches. And then I have 6 strips that are 3/4 of an inch by 12 inches. And you'll see where these are going to go pretty soon here. Our accent piece I've cut at 3/4 of an inch by 10 inch. This is going to go inside our handle for a little bit of decoration. And I also have our wording for around our gift bag. I have one piece that is 4.5 by 12 and one piece that's 4.5 by 7. So that is most of our cutting, and I'm now on the scoring step. So like I said, we're going around our cardstock piece at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And then I'm also going to adhere our accent piece onto our 1 inch by 11 inch strip first before scoring it, because this one is a little bit of a tricky score. And this is the main reason why I pulled out the trimmer. I'm also going to be working with our Creative Memories photo tape. Usually on a lot of my videos, you see me working with our tape runners. And I wanted this gift bag just to be a little bit sturdier. So I'm working with our photo tape, which is a little bit stronger than our traditional tape runner. And you just pull it off and use a nice strip. You can grab out your 0 centering ruler if you want to make sure that this winds up perfectly as your accent. But I went in about 1/2 inch and 1/8 of an inch on each side. This little, our photo tape packaging actually has a tape dispenser essentially built into it. There's 2 little flaps that fold in and go down. You can see the description box below this video on how to purchase some of these fun items from my website. And it's just so nice to have such a variety of products to work with and use the right tape for the right project here. There we go. Just pull this off. You do want to make sure that it's stuck down good and flush on there before you start pulling off the paper. And go ahead and get this one centered again, about 1/2 inch and 1/8 of an inch on each side. That needs to go up just a hair. Okay, this one wasn't wanting to play as nice. There we go. And you can move it when you very first stick it down. Don't worry about it. No, you can't. So don't stick it down until you're ready to stick, because you see what I mean about it being stronger. It really sticks. You can't move it, just like our regular tape runner. You can work up, and our repositionable you can work up. This one you cannot, and I had a little ripple in my paper, so I'm going to go ahead and recut this piece, and I will go again, both pieces. All right, take two, here we go again. Let's hope this one cooperates a little bit nicer, but I definitely wanted to show you that how much more our photo tape sticks and how it's going to be worth it, because our gift bag is going to be actually used and touched more than what our traditional scrapbook pages would be. So you want to make sure that you are using the right amount, the right tape for the right job. And it's the right tape for the right job. I just wasn't focused enough on putting it down to make sure it was straight before I pushed. And it became a great way to show you all what not to do when you're working on your projects, so you don't use up extra paper that you don't want to have wasted. There we go, much better. Okay, so those are ready to go. Let me grab my scoring blade and switch that out real quick. So now for our handles here, we're going to score it from 1/2 inch to 9 inches. And I want to show you, the reason I wanted to show you this was because on our trimmers, we have this fantastic white line. And this will show us where to actually go. And I like to add a binder clip so I know where to stop. So since we're going to 9 inches, I'm going to put my binder clip at 10 inches here. So that way I know it'll stop. We have an inch from where our blade actually engages to the end of the blade holding box on either end. So for the 1/2 inch, that one actually is going to be a little bit harder. So actually I think I'm going to go to 11 and 1.5, because that'll still give me the same width. Because then that way I can put my binder clip at 1/2 inch and it'll go score from essentially the 1/2 inch to 9 inch, but I'm going to have to make sure to line up my paper instead of all the way up at this 0 line here, and I want it to be centered. So I'm going to line it up between the two 1/2 inch marks, because we know our paper's an inch wide and our grid lines start at 1/2 inch on either side of our trimmer. We're just going to line this up in the middle, and then we also have where our inches show going down the trimmer as well, which whoever designed this trimmer was thinking. It is one of my favorite tools that we have here at Creative Memories. You use it all the time because you're always cutting paper, but you can always get the right cuts when you use the trimmer. So I'm going at 1 inch instead of lining it up at 0, because remember we moved the binder clip down so we could get the markings right for our scoring here. There we go. I'm using my multi-purpose tool to help keep my paper straight, and then I'm just going to engage my scoring blade here. So I went 3 times. You can see it scored through the middle, and we are set. Actually, okay. So I apologize. This is my first time trying this project. This is why it's Try It Tuesday, y'all. I'm getting to show you I'm making a couple mistakes here as we're going, but it's easy enough to correct, and you all can make the changes when you do it. So I had my binder clip at the wrong spot. I had it at the 1/2 inch for that first scoring, and that was incorrect. It should have been at the 1.5 inch, because having the paper at the 1 inch mark on my grid was correct. It was just I did not have my binder clip at the right spot for it to go at 11, and 1.5 is where you need to be to stop your blade. So that way essentially you're scoring from the 1/2 inch to the 9 inch, and I am just gonna go with it again. I'm actually gonna flip this over. I'm gonna center it again because I shouldn't have done it on the other side up anyways, because we're folding it so it folds with the cardstock in, and we want the designer paper showing on the top. Here we go. And there we go. That's what we wanted. We wanted it just through this middle part of our cardstock. You can see where it looks lighter in the area where it got scored right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my other piece lined up here at 1 inch with the 1/2 inch on either side, and hold this in place as best I can here. There we go. So, okay, much better. So now you're just going to fold that in along that score line. Let me move my trimmer out of the way. Put that down, and we are just going to fold it in along our score line. Let me use my bone folder here a little bit to help me along with this fold, because we don't want the end of the handles folded in. We just want this middle part to fold, because that's what's going to come over the side of the bag. There we go. Okay, nice. So this is going to go like this with this fold. I'm wondering, I can't remember if, well, that's how we're folding it. So we're going to fold through the middle on this one again, and then I will show you what we'll be doing with this in just a little bit. Here we go. Using my bone folder, and I don't want to go to all the way to the end on this one because that's where I made my mistake. So at least I know roughly I'm in here just a little bit. So I could see by doing the one I did correctly first, I was just going to about here when I was folding. And using my bone folder, I can actually almost even create an extra little mark here so I know roughly where my mark was on my other page. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my photo tape again, and I'm going to run it along the inside, because the way this is going to run is it's kind of going to just fold over the side of our bag, and it creates a really cute handle. So here we go. Grab a piece of the photo tape. I don't want it super long. I just want it to hold this middle part together. So here we go. I'm going to go a little bit more to one side than the other. Roll this back in just a little bit so I can use the cutter on the top of the box. Here we go. And now folding this over here. So there, our first handle is ready to go. When we get to that point in our bags, and now here comes number 2. We're just, again, I'm going to just cut a piece that'll go through more the middle, not quite all the way to the edge with the tape. Here we go. And okay, so I actually need to get a little bit of my precision point adhesive for this one, because I have where I got the tape on the decorative paper in the middle, but not all the way through on the designer paper. And I want to make sure my paper stays down and moves with the handle. So just hold that in place for a moment with our precision point adhesive. If you're not aware, it's kind of like almost like using a pen that has glue in it. You squeeze this middle part, it comes out blue, but it dries clear. And as quickly as that, it's already stuck on there. This other side is good. Let me check this one. That one I must have gotten a little bit more even. So just using it as a little touch-up. And now, what else do we need to do? We need to make our actual bag. Let me move my trimmer. We're going to grab our base of our bag. I'm going to grab my scissors. These are my all-purpose scissors. Usually I use my micro tip scissors. But this time, since don't have any tape to worry about, these regular scissors just will work fine. You are going to cut through on the long side along your 1-inch score mark of your cardstock base. So I just went along these 4 ends here so we can create the base of our bag. And then I'm going to fold up on these 4 sides here. And I want to fold my corners in because it's a little bit neater to have your corners on the inside rather than on the outside. And again, we'll use our photo tape to get that to adhere to the inside here. Let me find where it is here. We just need little pieces this time. So I'm going to go ahead and get these ripped off first, and then I'll pull the tabs in just a moment. And basically when I'm ripping these smaller pieces, I'm kind of holding the inside. You can see where the roll hits at the top, and I'm just placing my finger there so that way too much doesn't come out. So this, we'll go ahead and pull our tabs off and then get this stuck together for the base of our bag. And using the cardstock is going to make our bag even stronger here. Oops. Here we go. All right, so we have our base, and now we are going to, let's see. So we're going to create one long strip out of our designer paper first. And I actually might go ahead and try to line up our, yep, it looks like I can line it up so where you can still even read the words along the seam. I just need to put my tape right here on the very edge. All right, which end is the sharp end here? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Have my issues here. I knew this was going to be a fussy project to try, but I just thought with the Christmas coming, with all the holidays, Hanukkah, we do have a Hanukkah designer paper pack if you want to make a gift bag for that. It just was a nice project to try to show somebody how much you care. And if you don't have the right bag, you can make it. Okay, so I was able to get it to line up so where it looks like you can actually read the words through my seam. My seam is right here, and it's definitely hard to pick out because you can still read the words going through it. So I love that. Let me see here. And so you just need to decide where you're going to want your seam to run, whether you want it to run along the seam of the bag or box. Bag, we're making a bag, and we will have a little bit of overlap. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a piece of tape. So I've kind of eyeballed. I think I want to actually have my paper run just from the short side all the way around, and it looks like it'll land just inside of here again, and I'm fine having my seam along the side. So it makes sense for me to just start here, and I'm going to just run around it with the photo tape along the bottom here and go all the way around. And then this is the one place you can't really mess up, because if you're going to put your paper on here, you want to make sure it's going to go around nicely. So there's the first piece. And in doing the corners, I'm just going to go a little bit beyond, not too far, but I want to make sure I've got these corners strong. Okay, so I've done all four corners. I've gone over just a little bit on each of the corners just to help reinforce things a little bit. And I'm going to start going around. I need to make sure my paper is directional, which is where I have the words. We want to be able to read the words when we get them on here. So as we learned with our other paper, make sure that you're just lining it up once and sticking it the once. So make sure you're happy with where your paper is before you press down on your photo tape if you're using the photo tape like I am. Here we go. Side 2 is done. Whoops. Stuck to my table, which I guess better sticking to the table than ripping the paper. There's side number 3, and okay, this is where our seam is, so we have to be careful navigating this part here. So every once in a while when you're crafting, you feel like you need an extra hand sometimes. This is one of those times. And there we go. So now I'm going to get just a little bit more tape to put underneath here to get our last little overlap part stuck down as well. Okay, Work with me here, you stinking thing. There we go. And there is our final piece and our final side. So you can see we have the beginnings of our gift bag. How cute is that? I love, make sure when you pick your paper that you do like both sides, because you will see the inside of the paper. All of our pages are double-sided. So I picked one that had also this writing has a little bit more of a neutral print inside. So you see more of the outside than the inside. I need to run one more piece of tape up here. And so we want to make sure everything stays down. Get this on here. So as I was saying, all of our pages are double-sided. You definitely want to make sure that you like both sides of your paper before you create your gift bag. There we go. Okay. So you might want to think about when you do this piece, do that piece at the same time. I'm giving y'all lots of learning lessons on this one. Okay, so now we have our 3/4 inch strips, and we want to put those together. And we are going to reinforce the top and the bottom of our bag. So we're going to stick together these two first. And I think I might actually overlap it just ever so slightly. Here we go. It's a little bit hard to see. So let me, actually I think I'm going to put the other one on top of here. So that way as I'm running across, it's just going to stick together and hopefully be somewhat seamless. There we go. But you don't want it to go all the way through the whole second 12 inches, or else you're just going to be wasting tape. So I need to check and figure out roughly. I'll probably run this the same way so that way all of my seams come in the same point. 3 and 4. Oops. And coming around here. This is going to go to about here. Okay, so I have about 2 inches. Uh-oh. I'm losing my tape dispenser here. Well, I'm just going to have to work it out this way, I guess. This is interesting. I did not know exactly what happened there, but probably when I was twisting it, it didn't like that, so there. Okay, that is a long piece of photo tape. Let me see if I can get this back into my dispenser because it was a lot easier to use it with the packaging dispenser here. Okay, that is fixed. Pull this off of here. And let's get this on here. Oops. Okay, so let's get this piece going on. Where's my end? Here. So easy does it. This is going to go around the bottom of your project. I probably need to grab my microtip scissors since we'll be cutting through tape here in just a moment. This, I'll have to put an extra little piece over the top there. And I'm going to fold this down. I'm actually going to carry this through to this point here where it matches the seam again. Go find my other scissors. So I'm going to use my scissors to just, well, first I need to fix the end of this. And if you haven't seen any of my videos before, our microtip scissors are phenomenal. They have a special coating on them where you can cut through tape all day and they do not get that sticky buildup that my regular all-purpose scissors would get. So we definitely needed to get those out to go through the tape here and to go through the end piece of tape there. Because we don't want to goop up our scissors in the process. We want to be able to use our craft scissors all the time. Here we go. So there's that one. So we're now going to do the same thing for the other two parts of our bag here. So across the top. We're going to go across the top both along the outside and along the inside with our 3/4 inch strips to reinforce side as well, just to give the bag that extra strength it's going to need to hold whatever you're putting into it. I mean, it would be this could be even a fun little gift card bag too as well, although we do have easier to make gift card holders within one of our card kits, or you can just make a gift card holder out of one of our mats even if you're wanting to just put a gift card in a card. This would be cute for maybe some jewelry or for another item that you know one of your friends would love. Okay, that did not line up how I wanted it to. Let's see if I can actually undo this a little bit. Oh, that was nice. So just do your best to get your pieces lined up both along the inside and the outside, but the main part of having these cardstock pieces is to help give your gift bag some extra strength around it, and using the cardstock gives it strength in the bottom as well. All right, so let's kind of square off our corners a little bit here. And there we go. So now our handle is going to run along the, we're going to fold it this way. So it's gonna run along the front and the back of the bag, and it's kind of gonna look almost like a little mini purse. So you get the little piece. Oops, pulled out too much. Let me roll this back in. Here we go, just sticking a little more of the photo tape along the inside bottom of the handle parts. This is a little bit of a tricky project, but I think it's going to be worth it. Like I said, which friend wouldn't love to get a homemade gift bag? Whoops. Get my handle to go nicely, and that's just going to go inside about 1/4 inch each side. And I put it up about 1/8 inch from the bottom. So you can see here, there's my one side of my handle. And now let's get this other side done. Probably should have pulled the second one at the same time I did the first one, like I did on the other side. Oh, that one's gonna be a little bit too long, I think. Hang on, let me just check this. Yes, let me cut it before I push it down. Otherwise, it's just gonna stick, and then it's gonna be hard to deal with. So here is our second handle going on. Again, I'll put it about 1/8 inch up and about 1/4 inch in from each end here. And I know I did both sides together the last time, so I'll try to slow it down here a little bit, and just, there you go. Get both of our handles on nicely. And we have a bag. Look at that. How cute is that? But we're not quite done yet. I pulled out some of our enameled elements from our seasonal sightings collection, along with our border stickers, because I thought, you know, I love these little lights and I thought they would be so cute. So I don't know if I want to, let me just pull one off here. I don't know if that's going to make it too busy or if it's just going to make it look extra cute. I think it's going to make it look extra cute. So let's go ahead and run our border sticker around the bottom of our gift bag here on this green part. And that also will help, I guess, cover up and maybe distract from some of the seams as well. I'm actually going to cut this off here. I'm going to do 2 sides, I think, and 2 sides, so that way our lights are a little bit more cohesive. Let me pull off a second one. I actually did have 2 sets of stickers, so I pulled 2 sticker sheets just in case. And I'm going to run this one this way. This one's going to go across here and meet up with our other one on our other side here. There we go. So that way our seam is going to be at the same point pretty much. Oops, that needs to go down just a little bit. In fact, I think I'm going to cut it through here. Oops, put that back on there. And let's see here if we sort of fold this over just one little light bulb. So that way it kind of looks like the greens are meeting up here in this corner. Press down. All right, so we have our lights running along the bottom. I think I'm going to add a couple of little enameled bits to our handles up here just to accent some of our red and green lights. If I can figure out which way to open the package, that would be wonderful. There we go. Sometimes that's the hardest part, figuring out how to get the package open. These are self-adhesive, so I think I might put maybe a green and a red. A large green and a large red here. And then I'm going to get one of the smaller greens and smaller reds to accentuate the opposite color as well here. And it's so nice that these are all self-adhesive, so that way it kind of looks like we have extra little attention to detail. Almost looks like the buttons that you'd find on one of those fancy purses that I said that have the writing on them. And now we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Let's see. We had red on the left, so we'll go ahead and put red on the left again and green on the right. I do like my symmetry. So there's that, and there is that. Okay, this project is done. I hope you enjoyed our little gift bag that you can use to hold whatever you want. It's large enough even to hold our photo tape. Not that you're going to be giving anybody photo tape, but you never know. You can follow the link to my website. You could find some really cute scrapbooking supplies and add in maybe a set of your microtip scissors. That everybody should have a pair of these. They are just, if you craft and you cut through tape, you're going to want a pair of these. You don't even know that I cut through tape. I've cut through varnish with them before, and they cut just like the day I bought them. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button and making me your Creative Memories advisor. Links are in the description box below this video. Until next time.